Hey everybody, Buzzsaw Gaming here, bringing you my top 10 favorite games of all time. In the background on the CRT there is Demon's Crest playing, an awesome game on Super Nintendo, playing on the 27-inch Sony Trinitron. Anyways, it's the top 10 list, top 10 favorite games of all time. Now, this is top 10 in my experience. Games that I've played, so I haven't played every game obviously, so your list might be a little bit different than mine, but this is my top 10 my favorite games across all platforms that I have. And yeah, starting at number 10, Doom. There's the Jaguar version right there, probably the best version as far as a console version of Doom, I would say. It's an absolutely wonderful game. I remember back in the day, I had a 386 computer with 2 megabytes of RAM, and it just wasn't possible to play Doom because you needed a faster computer and I believe 4 megabytes of RAM, so I couldn't play it, unfortunately. So I was playing Wolfenstein and all that, but later on I did get a faster computer. I was able to play it, and then later on as well, the console versions. And here is Doom right here for Jaguar. It's just revolutionary, this game. There was nothing else like it at the time. Going around, I thought it was so cool going around with a shotgun, just blowing things up. Demons and all that, and it's just an iconic game. So it's number 10 on my list right there. It's a good way to start, I think. It's a fantastic game. It's just an ageless game. Yeah, there's Doom right there. Number 9, the original Street Fighter 2. Now this was just massive, I remember when it came out. I remember going to this small bakery close to my school, and they had a couple arcade games in there. One of them was Street Fighter 2. And I remember kids just lining up quarters and just playing all day, all afternoon. Even kids skipping school to play Street Fighter 2. Now, when this came out on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, it was just amazing. There was just nothing like it. It was so cool. The characters were so interesting. It was just something just so revolutionary. And to this day, like the original Street Fighter right here, the original box art right there, the original game is the one I remember the most. It's the one I have the most nostalgia for. It's the one I played the most. So just constantly playing. And all those, you know, special moves and all that, and just a wonderful game. I believe the Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo is not that expensive still, so it's, you know, it's just one of those games that I remember back in the day that has lots of memories, you know, just like Doom did as well. Number 8. I just have the Uncharted collection, but I mean Uncharted 2. I played that when I had a PS3. Now I have this on PS4. It has Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, but Uncharted 2 was something special. I really liked that game. Just the exploration element of it, you know, going into Tibet and the Himalayan mountains and all these different places. The mechanics were really good. The story was really good. It was just an awesome, fun game. It was, you know, a newer series, obviously, but you know, I think it should be in the top 10, at least in my top 10. I really enjoyed it, had so much fun with it. Just, yeah, just the character was fun. I mean, the story was fun. It was just a, you know, just a really good series, I'd say, for PlayStation. Probably one of my favorite. And you know, I really enjoyed it on PlayStation 4 here, playing it again. You know, Uncharted 2, number 8. Number 7, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Now this game, I mean, there's nothing like it. I don't think there ever will be anything like it ever again. I remember when it came out on Nintendo 64, I was just blown away. I was like, what is this? This is not something that should be on Nintendo. So it's just, you know, it kind of has, you know, this, you know, funny humor to it. It's just a super unique game. There's nothing else like it. There never has been and never will be. It also has a really fun multiplayer mode. I remember playing a lot of that as well. Just going around hours and hours and hours. as well as the main game, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, just there's nothing else like it. Completely unique. You know, this was, you know, Rare, the publisher Rare, who made this game, and that was at the peak of their performance, I believe. So yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Nintendo 64, number 7 on my list here. Number 6, Command & Conquer. Now here I have the Nintendo 64 version, but I mostly played this on PC. I remember back in the early 90s, would play this on PC, and I remember with dial-up modem, playing against friends as well. So yeah, just a strategy of it. It's a fun game. You know, I like having these little armies and, you know, battling each other, things like that. That's probably why I like Pikmin nowadays too as well, because it's similar to that, just in a, you know, a funner form, I guess, a more cartoonish form. But Command & Conquer, yeah, it's an awesome game. Just building your armies, tanks, helicopters, you know, guard towers. I mean, this was revolutionary back at the, you know, in the early 90s, mid 90s. Would play this constantly over and over and over again. And so when it came to console, it came to Nintendo 64, also PlayStation 1. I have the Nintendo 64 version. For Command & Conquer Red Alert, I have PlayStation 1 version. But yeah, it's just an awesome game. So much fun and so many memories. I just loved it. Look at that. Demon's Crest right there. Such a cool game. Loved it. I mean, look at those things. So creepy. Anyways, number 5. Right here. Skyrim. This was also something super special. I mean, I played this on PS3. I have the PS4 version here that has all the expansion packs. I mean, this is just an open world, you know, massive Dragon Slayer type game. There's, you know, it's unique, it's dark. It's just such a huge story. I remember going around and just playing this for months and months and months and months. The world is awesome. There's so many unusual things to find. I mean, you can find fish and eat it. I mean, there's so many potions, so many weapons. It's just a great, great story. It's a little bit buggy, but that's fine. I forgive it for that. This is an awesome game. You know, Skyrim, you know, Elder Scrolls 5. Just absolutely love it. I remember even like making like a little house, and you can have like a house Carl, who's kind of like a servant in the house, and you can have a pet fox. I mean, it's just, this game has everything going on, and I love the medieval theme of it as well, the kind of fantasy medieval theme, which is absolutely amazing. It's really up my alley. It's just beautiful, just an absolutely stunning game. The waterfalls, the mountains, the creatures, completely awesome. That's my number 5. Number 4, I don't know if it comes to anyone's surprise, Grand Theft Auto 5 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto. This is the PS4 version, Premium Edition. I played it on PS1 back in the day, but here I have it on PS4. Just absolutely love this game. I mean, this was revolutionary. It's just the way you know, they made Los Angeles look, and California, and the mountains and the deserts and the cityscape. It looks, you know, very similar to the actual place. You know, all the vehicles you can drive. I mean, all the weapons you can have. You know, the airplanes and helicopters. I mean, you go deep into the game, there's like a hidden Bigfoot in the game. You know, all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, it's just an amazing game. I remember playing that just hours and hours and hours, just absolutely loving it. You know, Grand Theft Auto 5. And I played the other ones. Grand Theft Auto 4, I never got into really. Just, I didn't like the story. It was set in New York. I didn't like it too much. And before that, I liked Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas. But for me, Grand Theft Auto 5 is the peak right here. I guess they're coming out with Grand Theft Auto 6 one of these days, but for me, Grand Theft Auto 5 just has a special place in my heart. Absolutely love the game. Just and the way it intertwines the 3 people in the story is just completely awesome. It's a totally cool game. Number 3, Zelda. A Link to the Past. Now this, I remember when it first came out. When I first got my Super Nintendo, this was the only game I had. And it's all the games I needed. I was playing this just non-stop. It's just amazing how they made the leap from the original Nintendo to Super Nintendo. Just the character, just the graphics. I love the shape of the graphics, the shape of the trees, that kind of weird round shape that they have. You can swim in here, you can explore so much. You have a dash, running attack. I mean, there's just lots of cool stuff you can do. It's just completely revolutionary. I love the Zelda series. And A Link to the Past is the top of the, the 2D Zeldas, let's say. Yeah, I just loved it. So that's my number 3. Number 2, Super Metroid. Now, Super Metroid I didn't know about growing up. I had no idea it existed. I know it sounds weird now, but back then I didn't know, so I picked it up later. But it blew me away. I mean, this game blew me away as an adult. I could imagine if I had it back then. It's just the best, absolute best Metroid in my opinion. Not only the best 2D Metroid, I think it's better than all the 3D Metroids. It's Super Metroid. It's just the way the story is told, the eeriness of it. You need this to get that and that and that, and the bosses are just massive. I mean, taking up the whole, my whole Sony Trinitron TV. Just absolutely love it. Super Metroid. I mean, that box art too. I mean, look at that. I mean, with Samus, fighting that dragon type thing. I mean, it's just, I love it. Super Metroid, my number 2 game of all time. Now, what can top that? Well, number 1 here is Zelda Ocarina of Time. I know I cheated a little bit by having 2 Zeldas, but I just couldn't take either one out of the list. So, Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is the only game in my life I ever pre-ordered. I remember the town I was living in. I went to the mall and I pre-ordered it, along with the booklet as well, the Prima booklet for it. And when it came out, I just played it non-stop over and over and over again. Actually on a CRT just like this. I had this exact same TV back in the day, but unfortunately when I moved I gave it away, but the same CRT came back to me somehow. So anyways, I still play N64 on the same CRT. I mean, this game was just, Zelda's first step into 3D. It's just the world, just riding the horse, Epona. I mean, it has a fishing game. I remember just a fishing game alone, I would play hours and hours and hours trying to get the better lures and trying to get the biggest fish. I mean, that's just one aspect of it. I love the music. I mean, all the different worlds, not different worlds, but different parts of the game that have, different creatures, and they all have different themes. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Being able to walk into everything. I mean, you can imagine when this came out, I think it's 97, 96, around that time. I mean, there was nothing like it. Absolutely wonderful. So anyways, number 1 game for me is Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I'll pan over here. Demon's Crest. That's basically the opening boss battle right there. Absolutely love that game. Anyways, that's Buzzsaw Gaming signing out. Please like and subscribe.